So as it's nearly spring, I decided to go to the spring of the Thames. We're going to do it with while camping. We're going to walk all 200 miles, hopefully. Even the boats are sheltering from the rain. Helicopters! Why was that helicopter circling at 11 o'clock last night? Father Thames and Mrs. Thames? Or maybe they want to keep you in there. I don't know, maybe it's a prison. A plant prison. Further up the river. Scary squirrels. Noisy coots. Just coots. Coots are always like that. What's it about, eh? The bridge. So if you want to follow me up the river, please hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, or share with your friends because it helps the channel. Back on the river. We're at St Mary's, Battersea. It might look very genteel, but last night there was kids doing wheelies on e-bikes or motorbikes here. It's one of those days. Yeah, I was supposed to rain slightly at lunchtime and now it just starts drizzling. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting conversion, like taking a power station and just turning it into, I assume flats, but it could be offices. That could be Lots Road actually. If it is Lots Road, there was a big drama about it, and also tried to take photographs there once at Lots Road, and I got told off by the security guard, even though I was standing on the road. I was actually in public property. Apparently, taking a picture was against the law, which is absolute crap. When you're a photographer or videographer or whatever, you have to be aware of the law. It's one of the reasons last night I was in Battersea power station. And I did a quick film and took a few pictures, but I was really like low-key because they quite often throw you out for doing stuff like that. I don't know, it might be seen as more of a touristy thing because of the iconic building, you know, Pink Floyd, all that sort of stuff, but I didn't want to trigger the security guards, and they were there. Even the boats are sheltering from the rain. It's really chucking it down now. I hope these don't leak because... yeah, I'm back wearing the Saucony 12s with some gel insoles because the North Face were just too painful. The London heliport, I've heard of this place. I wonder if the locals complain about helicopters flying around. It is a running thing on my local Facebook group. It was like, helicopters! Why was that helicopter circling at 11 o'clock last night? Lovely weather. Houseboats. Getting into the land of houseboats. I talked earlier about London stock, which is this yellow brick. It's made quite locally, south of the river. This is near Putney. You've got all these sort of Victorian estates. I mean, our house is very similar with this yellow brick with the red. You can see it in the bridge there as well. You can still get London stock. It's really expensive though. In the Victorian times, there was mass estates around here. Lots Road is one of them. This is another one. They're usually conservancy areas, like ours. A lot of them were being knocked down in the 60s and 70s. So, quite a lot of them are protected. I don't know, it's like identikit housing, but they're all slightly different, but you've probably seen the engravings, all the little different architectural features. It's like building houses from catalogues in a way. And so they're always houses that are very, very similar. And they're very desirable. Time and tide stay for no man, very true. The wonders of Putney Bridge. It's fun to cross. It's an amazing development. Victorians do high-rise. This is new. It looks like a tram depot. Father Thames and Mrs. Thames? A very grand building. The mansions. There seems to be some kind of boat race on. It makes such a noise. You'll see a lot more in Richmond when we get there. Most of these are public school, boys and girls, going to high-end universities and then rowing. How annoying people on bikes. And it's all just like rich people's games. We'll see this eaten. When I was walking the first time, when I got up there, was around the time of the Olympics. So they were building this massive competitive rowing lake. Warning, falling ducks. Football fans might know that. That's Craven Cottage, home of Fulham Football Club. On to Barnes Elms. Yes, got away from all the rowing stuff. I mean, run down by some of the rowing crews on Lime bikes. I had a nice chat with a guy from Sustrans. I saw Sustrans workers working down in Deptford, volunteers working on the trail. They seem to be a good organisation. Very visible across the river. I definitely have photographs across the river from this from 25 years ago at least. So, and this is Hammersmith. I think that's Hammersmith Bridge. What's rather confusing about these walks is that I think I actually walked in some points. There's two paths, you see. I'm not going to walk them both because that would double my 400-mile challenge. At this point, there is North Path and South Path. They tend to get united into one path further upriver. Scary squirrels. So I have walked it, it's just at this point I think I walked the north part, and it's the same with the bits I didn't recognise that were south of Wapping. I think I actually walked the Wapping parts. I have definitely walked from Cliff to Abingdon, but sometimes I switched side. It depended what suited transport and other things. And there is points, as we'll find further up, there's points where you have to be aware that you're going to get trapped on one side because the ferry is gone. Or you can't, there's no bridge there and you can't cross over, so you have to backtrack. And I'll probably make the same mistakes I did, especially up in Goring and that area. Probably. But this is a leg of mutton reservoir. So this is the first time I've seen something that is, I would camp here. I can take this off now, it's not raining. It stopped raining a while ago. Bit to go. I've got a choppy drink. But a good view for lunch. Who needs a Starbucks? Having switching back to the Leerdammer, I've got some more of the Lidl or Aldi smoked jam and cheese is way better. This feels a bit plasticky. The reason why I have Leerdammer Light, it's a bomb-proof cheese. It will just not go off. I know some people take butter, some people do all kinds of things. I've had it for days in hot weather and it hasn't gone weird. Whereas other cheeses like cheddar just leaches oils and they're horrible. Gone out. It doesn't matter how much I fill this. This is supposed to be. Be safe, children. You can see the difference between having the shield and not. It just blows to one side. The big crumbs in my beard. No, it's a very nice lunch. Noisy coots. Shush coots. Coots are always like that. I did actually scope this out. I did actually do my research. It might seem like, I didn't. But I did actually do my research into where were possibles. And it's interesting how few of the ones after about Thamesmead came true. We're now in Barnes. I had the odd fair amount of nights out here. But this is where Holst lived when he composed The Planets, working for a girls' school. He lived there 1908 to 1913, so I think that's where he composed it. So, And that's the bridge, which I'm not totally sure. I think you couldn't walk over it. This area was a little bit stranded. You had to really get here by train or bus. But I've spent quite a bit of time eating fish and chips on a bench like this one. I mean, this very bench actually, Looks familiar. It is quite mad being down here at night watching the river eating fish and chips. Somewhere around here there was a disused factory which is probably gone now, probably been built over. I have photographs from the grounds of that factory because it literally was just the fences were down, or there's no fences, and it was just, you know, you could take pictures in there. Whereas nowadays everything seems to get fenced off and big signs go up, and as back then it was like, wow, John Dee used to live here. I said there was breweries. There's on this side as well. Remains of the Stag Brewery, Mortlake. I told you what part of this place was abandoned. I mean, I assume it's dead. What is that there? That's always fun for the locals. Watching people who don't realise it's tidal freak out as their car gets completely submerged. No one's going down the tunnel. But I love these old bridges. These old Victorian railway bridges. Very ornate. They don't do that kind of thing now. But this is called Kew Riverside. Bit of a stretch. It's really Mortlake. Mortlake Riverside doesn't, obviously not as sellable. That happens a lot in London, where, like Hampstead, I used to live up near Hampstead. And there's a West Hampstead and there's a South Hampstead, and it's just really Finchley Road. You know, whenever there's a fashionable place, everyone rebrands themselves to it. That's a yacht. An yacht is a island in the Thames. You go by many other names, but where I come from they call them yachts. This is Kew Bridge. There's a lot of densification happening. Mini skyscrapers and like a mini city of London happening in a lot of South London. So Sutton, Kingston, Croydon, a lot of development. And usually it's local councils selling off their buildings because they're out of money. But the weird thing is, my local council, Kingston, the council tax is the highest in London. And so goodness knows what they're doing with the money. You're getting a lot of developments like that. And that's kind of like Kew Riverside towards Brentford. But it was quiet until I was just putting on my microphone, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of been the story of the last couple of days. It's like, oh, a quiet bit. I'll just get out my, So yeah, I've decided to walk on to Richmond because I can just get a bus back home. And then, as I know from the test hikes, that I can cover in a day. So that means on Sunday, I don't know if I'll do a rest day. Aircrafts go over. We're near Heathrow, so much aircraft. From Sunday, unless I have a rest day, go back to wild camping, hiking with a big pack, which I'm not totally looking forward to the big pack part, but I really have missed the wild camping. The frequency of the spots I could have had is so small that I would have struggled to get to one to the other. You know, whenever you're planning a wild camping through hiking trip, it's really important. The frequency of spots is as important as finding the spots, because you might not be able to get to that spot. Bad weather, you might have a detour, you know, the paths, the trail might be shut off. You know, you might suddenly feel your legs or whatever. You need a fairly high frequency of them. If you haven't got those, it becomes very stressful, as I found with some of the South Downs way. You tend to overhike and then you cause more problems with your legs. Because I know something quite unusual here. I think a lot of people are stealth camping at a site that they've already scoped out. I'm through hiking and wild camping and stealth camping. It's the same thing here. So it means there's a certain level of kind of like unknowables in it. So you can't just go, oh yeah, I will go 10 miles here, then 10 miles here. You have to have alternatives, and that's what you don't get. There'll be London stealth campers say, oh yeah, I do it all the time, and doing here and here. But you have to have so much local knowledge. I have it around here as I'm getting into my local manor, but beyond this, no, and before this, no. But I do know that beyond this, we have a lot more greenery, a lot more woods, a lot more farmland, so a lot more opportunity. This is all possible. It's a bit near the path and also quite boggy, a bit like Hamlands. Make sure the water doesn't rise. But that, yeah, that is Kew Gardens. I didn't go to Kew Gardens because I can't afford it. Used to be Kew had local tickets, or a bit like Hampton Court. I think it had like early bird tickets. You turned up like, you know, the first half an hour was free, or at the end of the day. And Kew used to be, you know, similarly had cheap or local accessible tickets. And now it's like, it's 30 quid or something. 20 quid, it's a lot of money to go. I have been, but I've not been since. But you can see that they defend it. There is this massive moat and big walls and big, you know, spikes. They really want to make sure you pay your 20, 30 quid. Or maybe they want to keep you in there. I don't know, maybe it's a prison. A plant prison. That's more a better view of preview of Kew Gardens. Maybe if you're good at wading, you could get there. Aha. Yeah, someone's there. Your own beach and your own camping spot. You see, there are bits. Although I don't know how boggy that is. It's not too bad actually. Beach camping almost. But you have to make sure that you know your tides. Can't be that meridian line. It's the original meridian line that was used to set the King's time, the Houses of Parliament before Greenwich Mean Time. So this is the original meridian for Greenwich Meridian. So, King's time. What's the time, King? Time for more money and plunder. And that's Isleworth Church. They come low here as well. Of course, my wide angle lens makes that seem like it's a long way away, but it's not. Yeah. A plane going into the sunset. How romantic. Surprisingly, along the shore, there were definite spots. I'm surprised at that. Because I knew about the Leg of Mutton Reservoir, I thought that was likely. But I didn't really think there'd be places along here. It's a lock. Richmond Bridge 1, but not the Richmond Bridge because it's called Twickenham Bridge, but it's nowhere near Twickenham, so I've got no idea why. Underneath, a railway bridge, not Richmond Bridge. There's only one Richmond Bridge, but it's nowhere. It should be called St Margaret's Bridge. It's nowhere near Twickenham. Things you randomly learn just from looking at the map. That Twickenham foot tunnel. There was a foot tunnel to Twickenham, and there's one on the other side. Oh. Obviously they built the bridge, so no one uses the foot tunnel, but that's quite mad. I think there might be the bridge, not that bridge. That is the bridge, the Richmond Bridge. The one Constable painted, I think, maybe. I don't know. It's raining. I've done there many a time. I spent a lot of money on these steps, remember, and these mock Georgian things. Yeah, they're not actually Georgian. We got some Canada Goose faction fighting going here. What's it about, eh? Yeah. The bridge. I blame an idiot outdoors. It's got me doing that now. I'm probably going to start doing that. The bridge. The bridge is keeping it super real. Sorry, Paul. I've just reached that point where I'm just, my brain's gone and I just, I can't cope. Nice coloured boats there. So I made it. Now to go home. I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know which bit I'm going to edit this into because my idea was that the day hike section would be a video in its own right. The first bit would be, and then the rest of it will be every 3 or 4 days split up. But I've recorded so much on the day hike section that I have a suspicion that I might have to separate them into separate days. But anyway, yeah, I know. And I'll put the previous part of the Tremblin Spring series on the screen now. And if you like this, want to see more videos like this and of this series, then please like and subscribe. Helps the channel, and also you get to see what I get up to. I'll speak to you soon.